Gentlemen, let me ask you something that might completely change the way you see attraction. Have you ever noticed a guy who isn't the richest, the best looking, or even the most talkative, yet somehow women seem drawn to him? It's like there's an invisible pull, a magnetic energy that makes them want to be around him. Here's the truth most men never hear. Women do want to approach men, but only when the right psychological signals are in place. The problem? Most guys unconsciously send the wrong signals. They don't repel women because they're unattractive. They repel them because their energy communicates disinterest, insecurity, or neediness, often without saying a word. Then they walk away thinking, women never approach men. That belief isn't just false, it's sabotaging your chances before they even start. So today, here on Dark Psychology, I'm going to show you 5 powerful psychological triggers that make women want to approach you without you saying a single word. And no, this isn't about fake pickup lines or corny alpha male routines. This is about mastering the invisible cues that flip a switch in her subconscious mind, making her feel a deep, instinctive urge to close the distance between you. But before we break down the steps, I want to share a story that perfectly illustrates how this works, and how not understanding it can cost you everything. I came across this story on a relationship forum, and it immediately stood out because it's something so many men unknowingly live through. David was 29, not a bad-looking guy. He dressed well, took care of himself, and wasn't socially awkward. But when it came to women, he seemed invisible. He'd go out with friends, hoping to meet someone, but the night would always play out the same. Him standing in the background while other guys drew all the attention. One weekend, he'd had enough. He told himself, "This time I'm going to make something happen." That night, he and his friends hit a popular bar, packed, music thumping, laughter everywhere. And then he saw her. Rachel. She was sitting at the bar with a few friends, sipping her drink, radiating confidence, the kind of woman who seems to light up the whole room without even trying. Something about her caught his attention, and then he noticed something even more interesting. She was stealing glances at him. At first, he brushed it off. Maybe she's just looking around. But then it happened again. And again. She wasn't just looking, she was checking him out. Now, this should have been his moment. The spark, the smile, the confident approach. But instead, David froze. He looked away, pretended not to notice, pulled out his phone and scrolled aimlessly, trying to look cool. In his mind, he thought, if she's really into me, she'll come over. But that's not how attraction works. Wrong. And here's why. Attractive women rarely make the first move unless they feel invited and safe to do so. Take Rachel. She was curious and gave him one last chance. She shifted in her seat, edged a little closer, a tiny subconscious test to see if he'd notice. David didn't. No eye contact, no smile, no open body language. To Rachel, that silence said everything. He's not interested. She moved on. 10 minutes later, someone else arrived. Nothing extraordinary in looks, but everything in energy. He wasn't hunched over his phone or hiding in the corner. He was talking, laughing, making easy eye contact. Rachel noticed. Within minutes, she was deep in conversation, smiling, fully engaged. David watched it happen and left that night convinced. Women don't approach men. The reality? He made it impossible. So, what should David have done differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments and be honest. Ever missed a clear opening and realised it later? Good. That's exactly why we're running through 5 simple tricks that make women feel comfortable, curious, and compelled to approach you without you saying a word. Most guys don't realize they're constantly broadcasting signals. If those signals are closed or uncertain, women won't step forward, even when they want to. The good news, it's fixable, and it starts tonight. Trick number 1, strong eye contact and a confident smile. Eye contact is the simplest invitation most men ignore. Make brief, intentional eye contact. Lock for about a second or two, pair it with a relaxed smile, then look away. Don't stare. Don't smirk. Be warm, present, and unbothered. That tiny exchange says, "I see you," and gives her permission to close the gap. Want the rest? Stick around. We'll break down the next 4 tricks so you stop missing shots and start creating them. Not just a quick glance or a nervous flick of the eyes like you've been caught doing something wrong. I'm talking about a deliberate, calm, and confident gaze. Here's why this works so powerfully. Psychologically, steady eye contact sends a subconscious signal of confidence and dominance. In evolutionary psychology, when a man holds eye contact without flinching, it tells her 2 things at once. I see you, and I'm completely comfortable letting you see me too. Now, add a slow, confident smile to that, and you've just created a brief but powerful moment of connection. It's subtle, but it makes her feel both noticed and safe to engage. So, if you catch a woman looking your way, don't look away immediately. Hold her gaze for a heartbeat. Keep your expression relaxed. Then, this is the key, give her a slow, confident smile before you look away. That's it. No wink. No cheesy line from across the room. Just a silent message that says, "Yes, I see you, and I'm open to this." Let's go back to David's story for a second. If he had met Rachel's eyes, held her gaze just a moment longer, and given her that calm, confident smile, she would have instantly known he was open to her. Instead, his hesitation made her second-guess herself, and she moved on. Eye contact isn't just about looking, it's about making her feel. That single second of unspoken connection can be the spark that makes her approach you, even in a crowded room. Here's the truth. If you're making eye contact but not backing it with the right energy, you're missing one of the easiest opportunities to draw women in. And one more thing. If she looks at you more than once in a short span, that's not random. That's her brain's way of saying, pay attention to him. Ignore it, and you're silently telling her you're not interested. Trick number 2. Position yourself in high traffic areas. You can't be approached if no one can see you. That doesn't mean being the loudest guy in the room or putting on a show. It just means being present and accessible. The more approachable your positioning, the easier it is for connection to happen naturally. That means putting yourself in spots where women can naturally cross paths with you without feeling like they're chasing you down. Think places like near the bar, along the main walkway at a party, or around the centre of an event where conversations naturally flow. Here's the psychology behind it. If a woman has to go out of her way to approach you, chances are she won't. But if you're already in a spot that makes interaction easy, she can strike up a conversation without feeling like she's making the first move. Now, let's talk about what most guys get wrong. They stand on the outskirts, leaning against a wall, sitting in the corner, or scrolling on their phone with their back to everyone. Then they wonder why no one approaches them. Let's be honest. If you look like you don't want to be engaged, women will assume exactly that. So next time you're out, ask yourself, am I in a spot where someone could casually start talking to me? Or would a woman have to take 3 awkward detours just to get near me? Small tweaks in your positioning can completely change how women perceive your presence. When you're visible, relaxed, and in the flow of the environment, you're not just standing there, you're inviting interaction without saying a single word. And remember, Positioning isn't about trying to be the center of attention. It's about making it easy for her to notice you. Because once you combine where you are with how you carry yourself, something shifts. Women start moving towards you naturally, without you lifting a finger. Trick number 3, use open body language. Your body speaks before you ever say a word. Women read your posture faster than you realize, and in seconds, they decide whether you're approachable or someone to avoid. Closed off posture, crossed arms, hunched shoulders, avoiding eye contact, sends one of 2 signals. I'm not interested, or worse, I'm not confident. Neither makes her want to come closer. Open body language, on the other hand, communicates confidence, warmth, and approachability. Here's how to get it right. Keep your shoulders relaxed and slightly back. This instantly creates a confident stance. Stand tall with your chest open, showing quiet self-assurance, not aggression. And keep your arms visible and free, not crossed over your body. Because the way you carry yourself can either close the door or open the invitation. This kind of body language invites connection instead of shutting it down. Think back to David from our earlier story. If he'd simply uncrossed his arms, leaned back with ease, and opened his posture so Rachel could catch his eye, she might have felt comfortable enough to start a conversation. But instead, his closed-off stance sent a silent message. Don't bother. The takeaway? Even when your mouth is quiet, your body is speaking volumes. Make sure it's saying, I'm open, not stay away. Remember, women aren't just drawn to confidence. They're drawn to comfort within confidence. When you look relaxed in your own skin, she feels safe stepping into your space. Trick number 4, engage socially to build magnetic energy. If there's one thing that instantly transforms you from just another guy to someone unforgettable, it's social energy. Women are naturally responsive to social proof. It's the same reason people choose the busy restaurant over the empty one. If others are enjoying it, it must be worth it. When she sees you interacting, laughing, and having fun, it lowers her fear of rejection. If others are drawn to you, her brain says, I'll probably enjoy his company too. Here's how to use this effortlessly. Laugh and talk with your friends. Don't stand stiff like a statue. Greet the bartender, chat with nearby groups, acknowledge people around you. React to your surroundings. If something funny happens, smile or make a quick comment. Be alive in the moment. When you look like you're genuinely enjoying yourself, you send a powerful signal. I'm confident, I'm comfortable, and I belong here. People, especially women, don't approach the quiet observer in the corner. They approach the guy who's part of the vibe. Here's a quick challenge. Next time you're out, spend the first 20 minutes just engaging with your environment. No phone, no leaning in the shadows. Just be present. You'll be surprised how quickly people start noticing you when your energy shifts. Trick number 5, wear something eye-catching. This is one of the simplest visual hacks you can use, and it works ridiculously well. Wear something that makes you stand out, not in a look at me, I'm desperate kind of way, but in a subtle, conversation-starting way. It could be a distinctive watch, a bold coloured jacket, a ring with an unusual design, or even a well-chosen graphic tee that sparks curiosity. Why does this work? Because women look for reasons to start conversations. If you walk into a room wearing a deep emerald green blazer while every other guy's in black, you've just made her job easy. She might say, I love that jacket. Where do you get it? And that tiny comment bridges the gap. Think about it. If you blend in, you disappear. But when you stand out just enough, you give her permission to notice you. Now, those are the 5 core tricks that shift you from invisible to magnetic. But before we wrap up, let's talk about the bonus trick, the one most guys overlook. It's the secret that flips curiosity into action almost instantly. Bonus trick, the mind-blowing secret. If you've made it this far, you're not just a casual viewer, you're a part of our real community. So here's something most men never think about, yet it's incredibly powerful. Leave one subtle conversation hook. Here's what that means. If you want women to approach you, give them something small but intriguing to latch onto. A little mental itch they can't help but scratch. Example, you're at a coffee shop. You order something unusual, say a lavender espresso. When the barista hands it to you, you say just loud enough for people nearby to hear, "This is either going to be the best or the worst thing I've ever had." Now what happens if there's a curious woman nearby? Her brain just lit up. She's thinking, okay, I need to know if that's actually good or not. And that's when she might turn and ask, "So, was it worth it?" Just like that, you've created an opening without approaching anyone. This works because humans are wired for curiosity loops. When you drop an open-ended, intriguing statement, her brain wants closure. If you make it easy for her to get it, she'll engage. The key? Keep it casual. Don't force it. Don't try to impress. Make it natural and effortless, interesting enough to pull her in without making her feel like she's walking into a setup. When you master this, you're not chasing women. You're creating gravity. Let's be clear. Attraction isn't just about looks. It's about the energy you project. If you make it easy for women to approach, they will. When you combine strong eye contact, confident body language, good social energy, smart positioning, and one solid visual or conversational hook, you become the guy women naturally gravitate toward. That's the difference between chasing attention and attracting it effortlessly. Here's your challenge this week. Pick one of these tricks and actually use it. Pay attention to how people react. You'll be surprised how a few subtle shifts can completely change the way women respond to you. And if you got value from this video, do 2 quick things. Hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and tells YouTube this content is worth recommending. Subscribe to our channel for daily insights that actually work. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real psychology-backed attraction strategies. And hey, if you know a guy who's always saying, "Women never approach me," send him this video. You might just change his entire dating life. There are some great videos on your screen right now. Click one to keep learning, and I'll see you there tomorrow.